Hello, my name is David Clarkson and I'm the minister at Barclay Viewforth Church in Edinburgh. I'm going to ask you to stop just for a moment. You might have switched this on and you're working away doing something else, but if you can, just stop and focus for a moment on this story that I'm about to read. And as you're listening, I would like you to try and imagine yourself in that moment, being there as the story unfolds, imagining the noise of the crowd and the heat of the day, the sounds, the smells, the sights. Here's the story. As Jesus approached Jericho, a blind man was sitting by the roadside begging. When he heard the crowd going by, he asked what was happening, and they told him, "Jesus of Nazareth is passing by." He called out, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." Well, those who led the way rebuked him and told him to be quiet. But he shouted all the more, "Son of David, have mercy on me." Jesus stopped and he ordered the man to be brought to him. When he came near, Jesus asked him, "What do you want me to do for you?" "Lord, I want to see," he replied. Jesus said to him, "Receive your sight, your faith has healed you." Immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus, praising God. When all the people saw it, they also praised God. I wonder if you had to choose somebody in that story, where would you place yourself? Are you someone in the crowd, watching to see what happens? Are you one of those who, it says, they led the way, the people at the front? They didn't want to disturb Jesus. Somehow they felt that they and he were too good, too busy, too important to be disturbed by someone who was blind, someone who was begging. They didn't want Jesus' ministry to be interrupted. Are you just one of the people following in the crowd, perhaps waiting to see what happens? Having heard that Jesus is amazing and can do miracles, he's healed people, he's done all sorts of stuff. And you've maybe not seen that for yourself, but you want to see what Jesus is going to do next. Maybe you've heard him teaching, maybe you've heard things about him, but you don't quite know, and you're there to watch and see. Could you be one of the people who brought the blind man to Jesus, who helped him, who gave him encouragement, who gave him support, who went to help him, to stand and to take him so that he wouldn't fall again and stumble on the way, and bring him to Jesus? Or maybe you would put yourself in place of the man. Maybe that's where you find yourself at the moment, desperately seeking help and not being prepared to be put off by other people, really calling out to God for his help at the moment. It seems like a daft question. What do you want me to do for you? He's hardly likely to have said, "Oh Lord, I'd like you to go and get me a double mac and cheese. Other food outlets are available." I mean, he's blind. His whole life has been ruined almost by the fact that he can't see, he can't work, he can't support himself, he can't support his family. He's having to resort to begging. What do you want me to do for you? That's the question, isn't it? That's still the question. What do you want me to do for you? Here's a man who, although he was blind, had insight enough to know that Jesus could help. He must have heard stories. He must have known something about Jesus and about who he was and what he could do. He knew enough to have faith, to seize that opportunity. Jesus might never have passed by that way again. He might never have had that opportunity again. And so when it came along, he grabbed it with both hands, as it were. And Jesus says, "Your faith has healed you." It's quite a remarkable story, really. It's very, very short. But it's a great story. That in the middle of the crowds, in the middle of all that's going on, in the middle of all the hustle and bustle around him, Jesus has time for the individual. And Jesus not only has time for an individual, he has time for the one that everybody else seems prepared to walk by and ignore. It's just as well. Because that means that Jesus has time for you and for me. He has time for people who don't know him but want to get to know him better. He has time for people who feel lonely, who feel outcast, who feel abandoned, who feel worthless, who feel empty. And his question still is, what do you want me to do for you? Not for somebody else. What do you need today? And are you going to display the faith that this man displayed in being willing to ask Jesus for what it is you need? You know, sometimes in church, we talk about the fact that God knows what we're going to say and what we're going to ask before we actually ask it. And sometimes I think that maybe stops us being so brave and bold in what we ask for. Sometimes, like this man, we have to actually put it into words. And so today, have a think about what it is that you really need and want from God. And have the courage to put it into words and ask him. Bless you and have a great day.